The digital world is trembling under the shock of a legal showdown no one saw coming. King Harris, the fearless son of Atlanta rap royalty T.I., has escalated the conflict from online jabs to the courtroom. 4 months, tension simmered quietly between the Harris family and G-Unit mogul 50 Cent, fueled by cryptic posts and relentless social media digs. But now, the story has taken a monumental turn. King Harris has officially filed a case against one of the entertainment industry's most powerful and litigious figures. With this move, King Harris is sending a clear message: the age of online trolling is over, and accountability has arrived. This isn't a simple misunderstanding. It's a clash between two generations of hip-hop culture. On one side stands 50 Cent, a master of psychological warfare and digital manipulation. On the other is a young man striving to define himself while carrying the immense weight of his father's legacy. When T.I. stepped in with a stone, calculated warning, it became obvious. This is no longer just a minor online feud. It's a father protecting his son from a veteran known for crushing opponents with intimidation. As the legal documents went public, industry insiders began asking, what finally pushed this over the edge? Was it a failed business deal, or did personal insults cross a line that could never be uncrossed? This case promises to reveal the hidden fallout that insiders have whispered about behind closed doors. What we are witnessing is a high-stakes legal chess game, where reputation, millions of dollars, and the pride of two hip-hop giants hang in the balance. The shift from social media spats to a full courtroom battle signals a turning point in the dynamic between King Harris and 50 Cent. 4 years, the industry watched as veteran artists tested the next generation, often framing it as tough love or a rite of passage. But the legal filings from King Harris suggest that what seemed like harmless trolling was actually a calculated assault on character. King Harris argues that what the public dismissed as harmless trolling was, in reality, a carefully orchestrated campaign of character assassination. This segment of the story uncovers the precise trigger that forced a young artist to confront one of the most litigious and influential figures in modern music. The tension ignited when King Harris began building his own name beyond the massive shadow of his father, T.I., striving to establish independent ventures and a personal brand. Allegedly, he found himself consistently undermined by a veteran who has perfected the art of digital warfare. The lawsuit claims that the seasoned artist did far more than offer casual critiques. He reportedly exploited King Harris' likeness, private videos, and personal struggles to drive traffic and engagement on his own social platforms. In today's digital era, attention is currency, and the complaint asserts that King Harris' private life was monetized without consent or compensation. A major portion of the filing zeroes in on issues of likeness rights and commercial misappropriation. It is alleged that the mogul leveraged King Harris' image to sell products and promote streaming content, painting a false picture that King was an active collaborator or a willing participant in the mockery. This created an immediate conflict of interest for King Harris, who was simultaneously negotiating his own endorsement deals. Potential partners, witnessing the relentless barrage of negative content from a high-profile source, reportedly began viewing King as a liability rather than an asset. The lawsuit painstakingly chronicles how these campaigns directly caused the collapse of specific deals, resulting in substantial financial losses for the young entrepreneur. Yet, beyond the money, there's a deeply personal dimension to the alleged fallout. Insiders claim that at one point, the veteran mogul had served as a loose mentor to King Harris, offering public praise and guidance, making the eventual betrayal all the more bitter. The rift reportedly grew wider when King Harris started speaking openly about industry ethics, voicing opinions that challenged the veteran's entrenched methods. What might have been a private disagreement instead became a very public assault on King's reputation. King Harris' outspoken views on industry ethics apparently clashed with the veteran's deeply entrenched approach. Instead of handling it privately, the response came as a public dismantling of King's reputation. The lawsuit makes it clear, this was more than a simple disagreement. It was a deliberate attempt to socially and professionally cancel a young artist before he even had a chance to reach his prime. King Harris' legal team is approaching this case with a modern strategy. They aren't just relying on traditional defamation claims, they are pursuing charges of intentional infliction of emotional distress and tortious interference with business relations. Their argument is that the veteran mogul leveraged his enormous following, numbering in the tens of millions, to direct a digital mob against King Harris. In a climate where mental health awareness is rising, the case paints the veteran's actions as an abuse of power, a form of bullying that can no longer be ignored. This unfolding legal drama is being written in real time, challenging the notion that legendary status grants someone immunity from harassment under the guise of entertainment. The lawsuit also delves into the fine line between fair use and outright exploitation. While social media often feels like a lawless playground, the law regarding commercial use of someone's image is explicit. King Harris attorneys have assembled a massive archive of posts, videos, and comments where King's likeness was used to drive traffic to the mogul's businesses. Each of these examples is presented as a separate violation of King Harris' right to publicity. This case isn't just about hurt feelings. It's about asserting control over one's own identity in an age where everyone is a brand. The tension surrounding the lawsuit is palpable. From the streets of Atlanta to boardrooms in New York, everyone is watching to see if the Harris family can actually hold the mogul accountable. For too long, the industry has run on a might makes right principle, where the person with the largest platform dominates by default. King Harris is flipping the script by enlisting high-powered legal representation, sending a clear signal that he has both the resources and the endurance to see this fight through. He is no longer the kid in the room, he is a plaintiff demanding justice. As word of the lawsuit spreads, it has ignited a broader discussion about mentorship in hip-hop. Many are asking, why would a veteran with immense success devote so much energy to targeting the son of a peer? Is this genuine animosity, or a calculated move to remain relevant by associating with a younger, trending name? The filings suggest the latter, portraying King Harris as having been exploited as a content farm, fueling the veteran's social media metrics during a lull in musical output. This introduces a predatory dimension that the court will need to examine closely. Beneath the legalese, the emotional core is clear. A young man has reached his limit. King Harris has grown up in the public eye, constantly under scrutiny, but being targeted by a family friend and industry powerhouse adds a whole new level of pressure. The breaking point came when he realized that silence was being interpreted as weakness. By filing the case, King Harris has drawn a definitive line in the sand. He is forcing a confrontation that the veteran mogul usually wins through sheer intimidation. But in a courtroom, facts hold more weight than followers. At this critical juncture, the papers have been officially served, the allegations are public, and the financial damages have been documented. The world now waits for the next move. More importantly, everyone is watching to see how T.I. will respond now that his son is embroiled in a legal battle with a man he once considered a brother. The fallout is no longer speculative, it is now a matter of public record, and the consequences are poised to be profound for all parties involved. The narrative is transitioning from a legal filing to the full-scale family defense kicked off the moment the digital world realized King Harris was not acting alone. While the lawsuit outlined financial and professional grievances, the entrance of T.I. into the fray injected a level of veteran intensity that shifted the industry's entire atmosphere. For 4 years, T.I. and the New York mogul had maintained a complicated relationship, built on mutual success and a shared legacy of dominating the charts. But that history vanished the moment the dispute moved from business to family. The warning from T.I. was far more than a social media caption. It was a line etched in the red Georgia clay, signaling that the rules of engagement had irrevocably changed. Tensions escalated further when the veteran mogul began targeting Tamika, Tiny Harris, King's mother and T's wife. In the unwritten code of hip-hop, involving a man's wife or children in a professional feud is considered the ultimate nuclear move. When unflattering images and mocking comments about Tiny started circulating from the mogul's vast platform, the Harris household saw it as a direct attack on their honor. T's response was immediate and calculated. He didn't just post a single rebuttal, he released music that acted as a lyrical shield, defending his family's reputation while reminding the world of his own formidable power. Tracks like War and The Right One weren't mere songs, they were auditory warnings that the King of the South would no longer play the diplomatic role. This phase of the fallout is especially significant because it highlights a father-son team operating in tandem. While King Harris managed the legal intricacies, T.I. controlled perception in the streets and across the industry. He openly supported King's right to defend his mother. Even as the situation darkened, T's warning was unmistakable. If the mogul continued to use his platform against the Harris family, the retaliation would be comprehensive, legal, musical, and deeply personal. The veteran rapper, T.I. expressed a deep sense of disappointment, revealing that he had lost all respect for a man he once regarded as a peer. This kind of lost respect can be far more damaging than any lawsuit, signaling a permanent fracture in an alliance that once carried immense weight in the music world. As T.I. finally spoke out, he also addressed the psychological dimension of the feud. He highlighted the irony of a successful entrepreneur spending so much energy mocking the next generation. T's warning suggested that such behavior was a sign of pettiness, not power. By pointing to the mogul's history of targeting the families of his rivals, T.I. aimed to dismantle the untouchable image that typically surrounds the Gaian founder. He framed the conflict as a battle between a family man defending his legacy and a troll who had run out of legitimate musical ammunition. This narrative shift was critical. It redirected the focus from King Harris' alleged immaturity to the veteran mogul's fixation on the Harris family. The tension escalated even further when King Harris, emboldened by his father's public backing, went on the offensive. The young Harris began uncovering old industry records and public documents, casting shadows on the mogul's own past. This daring move added a layer of investigative intrigue that kept the public glued to their screens. While occasionally attempting to temper his son's more extreme actions, T.I. never wavered in his core defense. The warning was reinforced. The Harris family would not be intimidated into silence. They were prepared to fight on every front, whether through the courts or in the court of public opinion. Additionally, T.I. used his platform to emphasize the generational gap in handling conflicts, arguing that the older generation should provide blueprints for success, not templates for destruction. His warning extended beyond the immediate feud, serving as a critique of the toxic dynamics pervasive in the industry. Many veteran artists feel compelled to diminish newcomers to maintain their own relevance. By stepping in as the mature, protective father, T.I. garnered support from across the industry, people who believed the mogul had finally crossed a line. The alleged relationship fallout was no longer just whispers or rumors. It had become a public divorce between two of hip-hop's most powerful forces, exposing the complexity of lies and tensions within the Harris family. Behind the scenes, the Harris household had to stay united against a constant barrage of memes, social media attacks, and public ridicule. Every time the mogul launched a new jab, the pressure on the family intensified. T's role was that of an anchor, keeping King Harris focused on the legal battle while still giving him space to defend his own dignity. The warning T.I. issued was as much for his son as it was for his rival, a reminder to prioritize the big picture while protecting the home front. As the feud deepened, the mogul hinted at escalating tactics, even proposing a documentary aimed at exposing the Harris family's own legal history. It was the ultimate chess move in this war of narratives. T's warning then took on a more solemn tone. He reminded everyone that everyone has skeletons, and turning personal traumas into entertainment was a dangerous game that could lead to mutually assured destruction. This phase of the feud carried a heavy sense of dread. It felt as though the entire industry was watching two giants prepare for a collision that would leave no one unscathed. By the end of this stage, the Harris family was more dug in than ever. The warning had been delivered, the music released, and the legal proceedings underway. With T.I. involved, this was no longer just a kid's problem, it had evolved into a war for the Harris legacy. The fallout had reached a point of no return. The brotherhood was dead, and in its place stands a cold, calculated standoff. The world watches, waiting to see whether the mogul will respect the warning or double down on his scorched earth tactics. One thing is undeniable, the Harris family is unshakable. They have proven that when you target one of them, you target all. The stage is now set for the final act, where the consequences of this fallout will fully unfold, determining the future of these two hip-hop dynasties. This conflict has escalated far beyond a simple lawsuit or a heated online spat. What we are witnessing is the permanent fracture of a relationship that once symbolized the unity of two of hip-hop's most powerful forces. As the dust begins to settle on the shockwaves from King Harris' lawsuit and T's stern warnings, the industry is left to contend with the fallout. The alleged relationship collapse is no longer just a headline, it has become a case study in how generational shifts and the digital age have rewritten the rules of engagement. This final act isn't merely about who prevails in court. It is about the enduring scars left on both legacies and what this means for the future of the entertainment world. The immediate impact is the visible destruction of the veteran-protege dynamic that once existed between the New York mogul and the Harris family. Previously, conflicts were often handled privately, through phone calls or discreet meetings. But King Harris' choice to take the battle to the judicial system has effectively burned that bridge. The mogul, notorious for his scorched earth approach, is reportedly pivoting, moving from memes and social media jabs to deeper investigative content. Rumors of a documentary targeting the Harris family's own historical legal battles suggest a long-term strategy aimed at reputational damage. This is a high-stakes battle for narrative control, where the goal is no longer to simply win an argument but to dismantle the opponent's entire brand. For King Harris, the fallout has proven to be a double-edged sword. On one hand, he has successfully shed the image of a sheltered celebrity child, demonstrating that he is prepared to fight his own battles using the tools of the modern era. By meticulously documenting the financial consequences of social media harassment, he has transformed a petty feud into tangible, real-world impact. On the other hand, the sheer intensity of his response, especially his willingness to engage in eye-for-an-eye tactics involving family members, has ignited a heated debate about where the line should be drawn. The public now watches closely to see if King can transition from this war footing back into a focused music career or if he will be forever defined by this legal conflict. The spotlight he occupies is both blinding and scorching. T's position in the aftermath is perhaps even more nuanced. As a father, he has fulfilled his protective role with unwavering resolve. King Harris isn't just suing over past grievances, he is fighting for the future control and ownership of his personal brand. The ramifications of this case may well be cited in future legal studies as a defining moment when the next generation pushed back against the digital gatekeepers. The psychological toll on the families involved cannot be understated. Feuds of this magnitude leave scars that aren't recorded in court filings. The relentless cycle of call-outs, counterattacks, and public scrutiny keeps everyone on perpetual high alert. Insiders suggest that the Harris family has tightened their inner circle, focusing on unity and strategic planning as they brace for what could be years of litigation and public sparring. The mogul, by contrast, appears to be embracing his villain persona, using the controversy deliberately to remain in headlines while pivoting toward more film and television ventures. Both sides have firmly chosen their paths, leaving no middle ground. As we close this chapter, it becomes clear that the warning issued by T.I. was not directed at one individual alone. It was a message to the entire industry. The next generation is shielded, and the old methods of intimidation and bullying will no longer go unchallenged. The era of unchecked digital dominance is under scrutiny, and the stage has been set for a new paradigm of accountability. Hazing and bullying will no longer be tolerated without a fight. The fallout serves as a stark reminder that in the high-stakes world of entertainment, everything is personal, and every action carries consequences that can last a lifetime. Whether King Harris wins this case or not, he has already shifted the conversation. He has forced a titan to defend himself in a realm where likes are meaningless and receipts are the only currency that matters. The ultimate question remains, who will stand when the gavel finally falls? Will the mogul's legendary resilience see him through this legal storm, or will the Harris family's united front prove that even the most powerful trolls have a breaking point? The fallout continues to spread as legal teams dig in and the world watches. This is no longer just a headline, it is the evolution of a culture, one lawsuit at a time. The warning has been issued. The lines have been drawn. The future of hip-hop's most iconic families now hangs in the balance. Now it's your turn. This battle between King Harris and 50 Cent has escalated from social media feuds into a generational and legal war. Do you think King Harris was right to take this to court to protect his family's legacy, or has trolling culture made this fight unwinnable? And was T's warning necessary to defend his son, or did it only add more fuel to the fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Harris vs 50 Cent fallout, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are tracking every update as the legal documents continue to unfold, and you won't want to miss the next chapter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.